Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FRL on PlayStation 5 for another instalment of PureSimGear Super Sprint Sunday. We're at round 7 tonight here at the Nurburgring, an absolutely fantastic track that, to be honest, we don't seem to race at that often, but it is a great track. So we should have a couple of exciting sprint races in store tonight. We're currently just coming towards the tail end of free practice session as the drivers just finalise their setups and get ready for the all-important qualifying session. And as always on a Sunday, we've got two classes of Pro and Am, and we're currently got the TV cameras on the number 242 Lamborghini of Daniel Naisbitt in the Pro class, who currently sits 5th in the standings, which I'll go through the championship standings in a short moment. So, welcome along. If you are watching live, feel free to drop a like on the video, whack the subscribe button for Formula Racing League, and please do check out the Discord server for all upcoming racing and series we've got to offer across both PlayStation 5 and PC. So, let's bring you, we've got a couple of minutes before the free practice session finishes, we'll bring you the championship standings. So, starting with the Pro category, Mario Asensio currently leads the championship with 386 points. He's got about a 20-point odd lead, give or take a few points either side of that, to second place man Ahmed Aldoori. So Mario Asensio is leading the championship in Pro class with Ahmed Aldoori in second. Both of those are racing tonight. And our third place man is Adam Anderson in the Porsche, the 888 Porsche. He's got a 330, so quite a gap from first to third. But that is the top three in Pro: Asensio, Aldoori and Anderson. We then have Marco Patriarca in fourth, 313. Fifth is Dan Naisbitt, who we're currently seeing on screen with 309. So the battle for fourth and fifth is quite close between those two. Sixth place is Francisco Souza. Seventh is Paul Trotman. 8th is the Stoken Frenchman Will Friedman. 9th is Tom Fagan. 10th is Alessandro Spanu. And then we come towards the tail end of the grid where quite a few drivers have missed a few rounds. And those are Jason Sargent, Jay Wazza and Nikola Buzov. But heading to AM category. Now AM category is where a lot of the action is at, to be honest, on a Sunday. Let's just go to a drivers on track. There we go. Now they're all currently in the boxes waiting for the free practice session to finish. We must have a driver on track we can go to. Here we go, Jason Sargent. So, AM standings. Leading the championship, fresh out of the commentary box at Spa on Friday night, is Gordon Captain. Captain currently leads the championship in AM category with 385 points. But only 13 points behind him in second place is Danny McCutcheon. McCutcheon in the Vantage. McCutcheon currently sitting 5th overall in free practice. Just 2 tenths off the fastest time thus far. So the battle for first and second in the AM category is very close between Gordon Captain and Danny McCutcheon. Third place man is actually our very own Chris Gedman. Though tonight he is showing in the Pro category, but that is an error. He is a AM category driver, and he's sitting in third in the championship. So that's very good season results so far for Chris, and he'll be aiming to kind of solidify that third place position. But he has got a lot of competition. Fourth place man is Lee Bailey, and he's only 4 points behind him. Bailey, I believe, is racing tonight. I'm just trying to find him. Maybe he isn't. But Lee Bailey sits in fourth. Fifth is Ben Berryman with 302. So again, only like 15 points behind Chris. So the battle for third in the championship AM category is far from over, as we are coming. This is round 7, so we're coming towards the tail end of the season now. Sixth place Michael Clark. 7th Matthew Lemon. 8th Jackie Van Eck. 9th Michael Milnix. 10th Jamie Rees. And then again, coming towards the tail end where we've got quite a few drivers who've missed a few rounds. Those are Marcus Locklear, Camille Clack, Kelly Matty, and Kanan, Charlie Smith and Jack Davidson. So those are the standings through Pro and Pro-Am, and I believe the 242 of Dan Naisbitt is the first one out. He is. He must have a sneaky suspicion that I like to be on board with the first guy out of the pits this week. That honour goes to Dan Naisbitt. So let's jump on board with Naisbitt and see how that Lamborghini's doing inside. And we'll do a lap of the Nurburgring when he starts his flying lap. So 14 minutes, 15-minute session, 7 PM local time, and he's just actually letting the Porsche of Adam Anderson go by. So yes, sorry, I was just about to say we've got a 15-minute session between AM and Pro categories. There is no split qualifying, so it's just both categories on track at the same time, so it's all important for the drivers to get space for their flying laps. Got a beautiful sunset though here at the Nurburgring, 7 PM local time. Sun just starting to set here in Germany and providing the drivers perfect qualifying conditions, nice temperature, good light, and the races will be a night race tonight. They will certainly need their headlights. So Dan Naisbitt 242 Lamborghini comes across the start finish line to start the flying lap, and we're going to go flying in to turn 1, which is known as Yokohama, at around 150 miles per hour. Down to first gear, very tight right-hander, early on the power, and then you're quickly into the Mercedes Arena complex of turn 2. And you can go a little bit wide here, and then heavy braking again, down to first gear, hug the left curve of turn 3, then the very quick right-hander of turn 4, and then all about the traction here, really going to get a good power coming up to the left and right handers of turn 5 and 6. So the first one, turn 5, in we go, third gear, coast it in, and this tricky right hander of turn 6, you can go a little bit too deep and compromise the exit. All the way downhill now to the infamous hairpin of turn 7. So pick your braking point. And is he going to go a bit too deep? He very much is, but he's probably going to claim that with a double apex, but we'll go for it. So on the power, third gear, and now the Michael Schumacher is turns 8, turn 9, it's not full throttle, lifts off a little bit. And now coming up to the left-hander of turn 10, one of my favourite corners on this track, weirdly enough. I don't know why, I just like this corner. He's going to, don't go too wide. I think he managed to keep that in bounds. And again, the right-hander of turn 11, the Vorsteiner curve. And again, all about the exit. Back straight now. Got to give all the power you can. The Lamborghini really stretching its legs now. Now pick your braking board, pick your braking mark, shall I say, into second gear. The chicane at the top of the hill, 13 and 14, and then the tricky final corner, and that is the lap of the Nurburgring here at FRL, courtesy of Dan Naisbitt in the Lamborghini. Is he going to set a time? He is, the 1:57.9, so that's not the quickest lap we'll see in the qualifying session this evening. Adam Anderson is the quickest so far of the 4 drivers who have set a lap, with a 55.8. That is slightly more competitive from Anderson. He's a man on form recently, been driving very well, 3rd in the pro category. And we have all 25 drivers on grid at the moment. Let's jump on board with one of them. Let's jump on board with the McLaren of 747, Thomas Fagan. He is going to be the next driver across the line. McLaren, a very good choice around here. So is Fagan going to set a lap, or is this his out lap? We're about to find out. Fagan comes across the line and he does set a lap. That is a flying lap. It's not the quickest. He goes provisional P8, second slowest of the runners so far. And then I believe we have our AM category championship leader coming around the final corner. We do. It's the Gordon captain in the Audi with his team livery colours, and he goes provisionally P8. And we've got car 321 off at the chicane at the top of the hill. That is Frank in McLaren. He's got yellow flags out for him. There he is, doing a spot of grass cutting there for the locals. Ben Berryman about to come across the line. What can he do? Goes to P8 with that one. Big time Dave now in the BMW. Coming across the line. He's so fun. Adam Anderson's about to come across again. He's currently pole sitter. Can he improve on his time? He doesn't. He doesn't improve that lap. Hey, but here comes Cletus. 4 tenths off Anderson. He doesn't improve either. And AMR Vantage back in FRL. In the pro category, he's managed to find some speed with his time off from FRL. But he's back with a bang. Excuse the pun. I've just taken a swig of my drink there. So where are we? Car number 72 coming across. That is Jackie Van Eck. Not yet set the time. And then we have the 333 Stereotypy coming across the line as well. He goes 6th. Who do we have? Just trying to pick up the drivers as they come across the line. So we've got car number 19 coming around the final corner now. That's K1, not yet set the lap. Can he do so this time? And we have car number 18 behind him. That's Spanu in the pro category. So KY Sets goes 16th. Here comes Spanu, the Aston Martin. He doesn't improve. And then we have the 99 car also going through. That was Morex. And Morex goes across the line and actually beats the time of Anderson by 7 tenths. That is a rapid time from Morex. Now that is Marco Asensio. He is your championship leader in pro category, so he's certainly laying down the pace there. So, first man in the championship, currently P1, and third place man is currently P2. But Danny McCutcheon there, he snuck in there. I've not caught that time. He's gone provisionally third there, Danny McCutcheon. Great time from him, but he's back in the pits. Likely getting some new boots on that car. So, a bit of traffic on the start finish straight, and Cletus improves. He goes P2, but it's still nowhere near the time of Asensio. Morex. Jack Davison also sporting the T1SR livery. Does improve, but it's only good enough for 18th on the grid so far. And then we have Chris Gedman coming across the line as well. He's not yet set a time. Can he do so this time? He doesn't. There's Al Dory. He's on track as well. He's our 26th driver on track tonight. He's the man in second place in the championship. Now he's got under a little bit of pressure now because his competitors of Morex and Anderson are currently occupying first and third. So Al Dory under a little bit of pressure in these final 6 minutes just to get a couple of quick laps in. He doesn't want to be compromising his 2 races tonight by qualifying that far down the grid. He wants to keep the pressure on Morex for the championship. As we see Missile Dogshaft go P5, a second off the pace. And Captain is about to come across the start-finish line again. Can he improve? Currently 2.9 off. He does improve, but again doesn't improve his position. He improves his time. He still sits provisionally 14th position. He is a little bit down the grid compared to his fellow category drivers. So Captain, championship leader, just feeling the pace a little bit here compared to his competitors, as we see Frank, who we did see going off at the top of the chicane a few laps ago, but he has managed to get a good lap in and he finds himself 10th. Now it's KM with a cracking lap in provisional P8 there. So here comes Cletus again. Can he improve? Has he found some more time compared to Morex? We're about to find out. He does, but it's only a slight few hundredths of a second. And he's still 6 tenths off Morex. So it is Morex in a class of his own tonight with that time. Anyone get near him? We've still got 4 drivers yet to set a time. That's Vantage, Paul Trotman, Tristan and Gedman. All yet to set a time, but here is Gedman. Can this be his first time lap? It isn't, so he's obviously going wide somewhere. Can you keep compromising? He can't get a time on the board at the moment. Here's Trotty. Trotty can't either. Yes, he can. Apologies. He goes 21st. So Vantage and Gedman are the only 2 drivers yet to set a time. We see Anderson trying to get out of the way of his fellow T1SR driver. That, I believe, was Jack Davison he was letting through. It was. Here's another one T1SR driver. They seem to be like, I was going to make a very harsh joke about them then, but I won't, I'll refrain. I was just going to say there seems to be a lot of T1SR drivers on the grid. They certainly do like racing in PureSimGear Sprint Sunday. But here is your pole sitter so far. 6 attempts to the closest competitor. So just a reminder, the grid does set, this qualifying does set the grid for both races, so we have a 20-minute sprint race and a 40-minute feature race, and the grid will be the same for both races based on what happens in the next 2-3 minutes here. We're at 21 degrees air and track temp, so perfect qualifying conditions here for these cars and drivers. It's a great track, the Nurburgring. I think it's an underrated track. I know some people don't like it, some do. I personally love the Nurburgring. I think you can get into a nice rhythm around here. And it is difficult to overtake, but that's what I like. You really do have to have a good pace advantage to get past people here. And although it is difficult to overtake, there is a few good spots you can. You know, turn 1, the top of the hill chicane, even the hairpin down where the 333 car is now, which is stereotypy, just here. It can be done here, overtaking, and it can lead to some great racing. So Morex actually extends his lead, but only slightly, so 0.6 to Cletus. He's got traffic, having to navigate that traffic a little bit. And Al Dory's managed to get a time on the board, so that is going to make the racing interesting if it stays like this. So we've got the top 3 in the pro category all occupying the top 4 spots on this grid, and in between them is the 41 BMW of Cletus. But Morex, Anderson and Al Dory, all fighting for that championship in pro category, are all occupying the sharp end of the grid. So this could really lead up to a nice spicy race, but the drivers will be hoping their race pace will be a bit quicker to Morex, because at the moment he's in a league of his own with that time. Anderson has closed that gap slightly to 5 tenths now, half a second, as we see the toe coming off second row of the grid so far, provisionally P4. That is a cracking time from the 69 BMW. McCutcheon's still up there, Naisbitt, Berryman is P10 as well. So the AM drivers are certainly getting involved at the sharp end of the grid. There's quite a few pros down, and Vantage is still not yet set a time. He's now starting his final lap, so this lap's got to count, or he's going to be at the back of the grid here. So the checkered flag is about to wave on this session. Let's just try and pick up the drivers as they come across the line. So here's KM in the Audi. Can he improve? Currently provisionally 8th. He does improve, but it doesn't move him up the grid order. Then we have the Triple A of Anderson. Has he found 7 tenths? Moritz has extended that lead yet again. That's Moritz done for the qualifying session. Can Anderson improve? He does! He improves quite a lot, but it still is not good enough to knock Moritz off the top of the leaderboard. So P2 provisionally for Anderson. Here comes Thomas Fagan round the final corner in the 747 McLaren. Currently P18, 2.7 off the lead. Can he improve? He does, and he goes up to 14th for Tom Fagan. We then have the 333 of Stereotypy. So quite a lot of drivers have boxed already. Stereotypy does not improve. Here comes McCutcheon, currently second in the AM Championship. He doesn't improve either. Who else we've got coming across the line? We've got the 108 of Jamie Rees down in 21st. He doesn't improve. A 46 of Vantage. Can he set a time? He does, and he goes up to 15th. So he finally, at the last moment, sets the time. Here comes Ollie Mack. Ollie Mack improves to P12. So quite a few late improvers here. As we've got the 41 of Cletus. He's currently 3rd on the grid. Can he go quicker? He doesn't. And that is... Oh, here comes Captain. Captain does not improve. So that was your qualifying session. Well, Moritz, who completely had the pace advantage there compared to the rest of the field, is your pole position holder for tonight's 2 races at the Nurburgring. So let's give you a full rundown of the qualifying order. So as I said, Moritz pole position with a 1:54.895. Adam Anderson is 2nd. Cletus is 3rd. Great drive from him. And the tow is 4th. 2 AM drivers and 2 BMW filling out the 2nd row here. Aldori, the championship contender to Moritz, is 5th, so he's got to get past these 2 BMWs quite quickly if he wants to kind of mount a challenge on Anderson and Moritz, his championship competitors. McCutcheon is P6, Dan Naisbitt P7, Missile Dogshaft 8th, KM 9th, Stereotypy 10th, Frank is 11th, Ollie Mack 12th, Ben Berryman 13th, Spanu 14th, Thomas Fagan 15th, AMR Vantage with a lap right at the end there to go 16th. Gordon Captain, who is your AM Championship leader, but he currently finds himself what? He's 7th in class. That is quite a disappointing result for Captain. So he'll be trying to recover some positions in the races there to make up the points. Jason Sargent in 18th, Chris Gedman 19th, Jackie Van Eck 20th. I swear Gedman and Jackie Van Eck just seem to be attached to each other on a Sunday night. They just always seem to be on the same part of the track every week. Paul Trotman 21st, Jamie Rees 22nd, Jack Davison 23rd, Tristan 24th, KY 25th, Big Time Dave 26th, and he is the final runner with the 26th position, 5.5 seconds off the top of the leaderboard. So we do have quite a field spread as well. Looking at the delta times, the top 5, I think race pace will be a bit closer than what the delta times are showing them, but then it is extremely competitive from around about 7th all the way down to a 12th. Very close in qualifying there with looking at the times, all running in the 56s. The majority of the midfield all running in the 56s. And then towards the sharper end of the grid, it gets a little bit more gaps with terms of the qualifying. I think hopefully these guys, Jamie Rees, Davison, Tristan, KY and Big Time David, will all be looking for a bit quicker race pace, because 4 and 5 seconds off pole position is quite a gap. Anyway, I digressed. So that is your grid order, and we're going to have a minute or two for the server to reset, and then the formation that will be underway for our first 20-minute sprint race. Here we go, and look at that. I did warn you, it's going to be a night race, so the drivers won't have had practice in this. They may have done before tonight, so the tyre temperatures could be a little bit of a guesswork for them. Well, I say guesswork, then they can still work out with their you know, they can see the track's now gone down from 21 to 18, so they should be able to account for that in their heads with what pressures they need, PSIs in their tyres, etc. It's going to be a challenge racing at night, but they'll be thankful to see that the weather forecast is going to be staying dry. So it's just going to be about picking your braking markers, braking points in the dark, and keeping that consistency. So I'll be back with you in about 30 seconds, and then we'll join you live for the formation lap.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
And we are back. So, as we saw, all the field headlights come flickering on. Everyone is ready, and let's just get on board with the TV cameras for the start of this race. And it looks like Chris Gedman is unfortunately going to be starting from the pit lane. Not sure if that is a game bug or if he just wasn't onto the grid in time. Hopefully he wasn't caught short with a cooler nature, but either way he'll be starting from the pit lane, Chris Gedman. He was all the way down in 19th though, so he's lost quite a few positions, but it's not that disastrous. It's not like he was in the top 10 and he's now starting 26th. So Morex leads them away as the drivers are just doing their weaving and dragging the brakes to try and get the temperature in. The temperature tyre warm-up will be a lot harder at night. As the track temp has gone down to 18, but it's still not too cold. You know, 18 degrees, it's still a fairly adequate temperature. 18 degrees in a sunny day in England is beer garden weather, so even though we are 10 o'clock at night here in the Nurburgring, it's still not too cold. And as well, let's not forget, it is a track that is used to having night races. Obviously, of course, the 24-hour race is held here, going on to the infamous ring track. But the GP circuit, there is quite a few lights that kind of sit alongside various points of the track, so it's not complete pitch darkness for them. Got a great shot there of all the cars just coming through the Schumacher S's. And we're about 40 seconds away from going racing here, I'd imagine. A little bit longer than that. So, in terms of Adam Anderson, can he get a run down on Morex going into the first corner? He's got to think about the championship. He's third in the championship, but that gap to Morex is quite big. So he could go a little bit aggressive here on Morex. And the guys behind them, I mean, the second row of the grid here with two AM drivers, the two BMWs of Cletus and the Toe. Cracking qualifying results for them. I know the Toe is not best pleased about these conditions. He was hoping it would be a daytime race, but he's not a big fan of the nighttime races, but I'm sure he will be if he manages to finish fourth in this race. So cars are now starting to go into their Noah's Ark 2x2 formation. Let's get on board with the 99 Audi of Morex. And we're about to go racing here on ACC PlayStation 5 Formula Racing League PureSimGear Super Sprint Sunday, round 7. The green flag is about to drop, and we're go, we're green. Morex is an absolute cracking start, and I think Cletus has got an even better start on Anderson. Cletus is going to be up the inside of Anderson up the first corner, but he's quite conservative on the brakes. Oh, we've got cars going wide and deep at the back there. Is it fairly clean? There's a little bit of contact at the first corner, like 4 wide, but it's still fairly clean so far. One car to go very deep. Let's just try and focus on the front end of the grid for the very first moment. So Morex leads. Anderson has managed to keep second place off the charging BMW. Cletus is third. Aldori has managed to get past the Toe. That was a key move for Aldori. As I said before the race started, he had to dispatch these two BMWs quite quickly to not ruin his race compared to Morex and Anderson. He's done that. He's got to get past Cletus though. Toe sits fifth. Dan Naisbitt is 6th. Derek Tippy 7th. Ollie Mack 8th. McCutcheon 9th. Frank 10th. That is your top 10. We'll bring you the rest of the grid in a few moments time once we settle down. But I think the majority of the field has got away quite cleanly. We've got a drive-through penalty for Paul Trotman, and as we see one of the cars up the inside, I think that was Jackie Van Eck having a look up the inside there going into the hairpin. But all fairly clean so far from everyone. It's good to see. But Morex is leading the race. He's got away cleanly and untroubled by Anderson. There was me talking about Anderson being aggressive to Morex, but in fact it was Cletus who was having a look at Anderson, and look at that, how Dory has managed to get past Cletus. I think Cletus has actually made a mistake. He's lost out to the Toe as well. So Anderson is now in exactly the position he needed to be. So we've got a Lamborghini spinning around there. Is that Naisbitt? It is Naisbitt. He's now side by side with Frank. And McCutcheon's looking to get involved. His friend's on the inside. Is Frank going to get the move done? Naisbitt could get the better exit though. And now side by side, Lamborghini versus McLaren on the start of the straight. The start on lap 2. This is all going to be about who can break the latest into turn 1. Frank's going to have the inside with, but look at that straight line speed of that Lamborghini. So Frank to the inside. Oh, there's contact. Oh, dearie me. Oh, that is. Who was that? I think that was Danny McCutcheon. And we've got more cars going off. It was McCutcheon. I think McCutcheon's took out his T1SR teammate. And then we've got another car behind all that going straight on. Someone just completely missed the braking point. Wow. Let's get on board with Anderson. So, Dan Naisbitt will be absolutely furious with his teammate there. I'm pretty sure it was McCutcheon who just completely missed his braking point and rear-ended him. And he was doing well, Naisbitt. He was having that battle with Frank. Disastrous start in the sprint race here for Dan Naisbitt and McCutcheon, who I think stayed off the track to let him by, and he would have lost a lot of positions as well. And that would be doing his championship points no good either. But Anderson on board with him. You just see the speed of Morex with a second lead already on lap 2. So let's go view the order for the rest of the grid. So Aldori's third, Toe fourth, Cletus fifth, Stereotypes had a good start at sixth, Ollie Max seventh, Frank eighth, Missile Dogshaft ninth. Vantage is all the way up in P10. AMR Vantage certainly taking advantage there. I think he started, what, 15th? He's up to P10. He's now lost the place to Ben Berryman, actually, so he now goes down to 11th. Jamie Reed is 12th. He's got another good start. Well, another driver who's gained a lot of places at the start here. PM is 13th. Spanny is 14th. Spanny will be potentially looking for a move here at turn 1. He's going to make a move up the inside in the braking phase. Spanny maintains 14th. Fagan is 15th. He's under pressure from McCutcheon. Big Time Dave 17th. He's done very well with quite a few drivers have really shot up the grid. Big Tom Dave started 26th, he's running 17th at the moment, so a great start from him. But the closing speed there of Gordon Captain, he's all the way down in 18th. Captain trying to do a bit of a cutback, he's going to have a good exit here. Is he going to get the move done into the left-hander? He looks to the inside now, Captain. Is Big Tom Dave going to leave in space? They're both on the brakes. Captain, oh no. Let's try and get a better camera view. There we go. I thought it was going to be close enough to make a move. He wasn't. But now he's going to have a good exit down into the hairpin. He pulls to the right-hand side of the track. Is he going to get the braking done, the move done under braking? Captain on the inside. He's heavy on the brakes. Big Tom Dave to the outside. That's a great overtake on lap 3 from the Audi driver. That is Gordon Captain up until 17th. Great move there. So let's just bring you Jackie Van 20th, Gedman 21st, KY 22nd, Naisbitt is all the way down in 24th. That is horrendous for him. And Paul Trotman as well is running bottom of the pack. But lap 4, not lap 3, about to start lap 4, Morex is your race leader, and that gap has just increased ever so slightly to 1.7 seconds to Adam Anderson. He's then got a gap of 1.5 to Aldori, and then we have the two AM class drivers, BMWs. Now this is for the battle for AM class category. As Missile Dogshaft is off at the hairpin, at the chicane, beg your pardon. Oh, we've got contact behind! I don't know who that was. I think that was KY and McCutcheon. KY and McCutcheon coming together there, I believe. And the yellow flags are out. We've got another car off at the final corner. Who is that? Is that car number 18? That is Spanu. Spanu is stopped. And car number 20, yellow flags are out for them as well. That's Tristan at the chicane. So Spanu is parked on the, looks like the pit entry there. Is he getting going? He is. He was just can't get my words out. Patiently waiting there to rejoin the track. So, where are we with the order? We've got the top 7, top 8, top 9, all quite spaced out. The battle is here. Battle for P11. McCutcheon is putting KY under a lot of pressure. Let's see if we can go on board with that Aston Martin. Here we are. McCutcheon, battle for 11th. Is he going to go up the inside of KM here? He is down the inside. McCutcheon, can he get it stopped in time? Just about. Great braking there from McCutcheon. Can he get the exit? He does. Oh, what a fantastic move from Danny McCutcheon there. I thought he completely went too deep there on the brakes. He proved the commentator wrong. Managed to get the Aston Martin stopped in time. And off he goes up into P11. Fantastic driving there. But now Mr. Dogshaft will be having to look a move on KM. Got a slow car off. Oh, it's a tow! The tow is off up ahead. That the BMW to the left side of the track. That is a tow. So huge moment there for the battle in AM class category. Not sure what has happened to him there, but he's off. And now we see KY going a little bit deep, but he's managed to keep it just about right. So it is all happening here. Let's just, so the tow rejoins in 13th, but he's lost a lot of places there. So this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Jamie Reeser, because he's very close to Jackie Van Eyck. And Gedman's behind him. Gedman down to 20th, starting from the pit lane. So he's had a good recovery drive so far. Did start 19th, he's almost got up to where his grid position was originally. Let's just go back on board with Fagan because he seems to be putting captain under a bit of pressure now. McLaren looks great there, doesn't it, with the green LED lights and the green livery, green and black livery. Fantastic looking McLaren there, the number 747 McLaren of Thomas Fagan in 15th position. So gap in front is now 2.3 to Anderson, so Morex really is controlling this race pace beautifully. Anderson coming through the chicane, and then we've got Aldori. So the top three in pro category occupy the first three places on grid. They're tipping, getting a little bit out of sorts there, but somehow wrestled that Audi and kept it pointing the right way. He's fourth. Olimac is managed. Olimac's leapfrog Bateau and Cletus. So I know Bateau did go off, but Olimac and category class leader currently as we cross the halfway mark into this race. Cletus is still battling away though. He's down in 6th, but 2nd in class. Frank is up to 7th. We saw him side by side with Dan Naisbitt on lap 2. Ben Berryman is currently occupying the 3rd podium spot in category, but he's got AMR advantage behind, but he shouldn't worry too much about him. They are in different categories. Do not lose time to McCutcheon. But I say that, he's got a good 8-second lead to McCutcheon, Berryman has, so he's just got to solidify that 3rd place, Ben Berryman. So McCutcheon's 10th, Missile Dog Chef 11th, KM is 12th, the Toe is 13th, he's down to a good 8 places or so. Captain is 14th. Fagan, so you've got to... Sorry, just rejoining the captain, he's looking very close on the Toe here. He's hot on the heels of the Toe, as they will say, for a great commentary pun. Captain, who was in the commentary booth on Friday night for the 4 hours of Spa in the S28 driver swap. That was an absolute epic race. 4 hours of racing at Spa, and we had a change for the lead 4 or 5 corners from the end on the last lap, with the SBR team taking the win, but taking the championship as well. And a huge congratulations to them. A victory for them, but a victory for ESSA. Fantastic race. A fantastic series. Yellow flags are out for Chris Gedman. He's off at the Schumacher S's. So, gap in front, 2.8 still. So it's not increased that much in the last lap or so. Anderson's still just about hanging on, but Aldori is the purple lap setter at the moment, the quickest man on circuit. We just join on board with Olimac because Olimac has lost out. I keep missing the lead change in AM class. It was Olimac, it's now Cletus, but Olimac is looking to come back at Cletus, going around turns 4 and 5, now coming up to the left and right hander. Frank in the background is trying to get involved with these two as well, but this is the battle for AM class lead. Only separated by half a second here. Look at how close Frank is behind in P7. The two McLarens battling away. This is reviewing P7 Frank here, the red McLaren. Camera is mounted on the car of Olimac in P6. Look at the exhaust flames spitting out there on the McLaren. Great shot of the rear there. How close can Cletus get though? Sorry, beg your pardon. How close can Frank get up into the chicane? Not enough to challenge this lap. As Ollie Mack has a cheeky look at Cletus. Cletus is certainly a slower car on braking into turn 1 there. He's bringing him into play with Ollie Mack. This is the battle for M-Class lead. Cletus goes a little bit wide. He's going to have to go a little bit defensive here. Flashing lights there of Ollie Mack. Not sure why he's flashing. Oh, Ollie Mack goes very wide. Is that going to open the door to Frank? No, he just keeps ahead of him. Frank wasn't close enough to take advantage of that as they go through the Schumacher S's. So Ollie Mack going very wide there, losing about a second to Cletus, but unfortunately Frank was not close enough to take advantage of that off track. But is he going to be close enough now down the back straight? He isn't. McLaren's just matching each other for top speed there. The gap now in front is 5 seconds for Morex, and he's now got the purple lap as well. And Aldori's just starting to close up to Adam Anderson as well, as we tick into the final 4 minutes of this race. Morex so far has controlled this beautifully. I think Adam Anderson went a little bit deep there. That's going to compromise, and it is. Anderson's going to have an absolutely great run. Aldori's going to have a great run at Anderson. He has a look to the inside, a little bit of a move, a little bit of a look, sorry, just to say, look mate, I'm here. What pressure can I put you under? As Anderson, look like the back end of that Porsche was stepping out. Aldori, look at that power of that Mercedes though. Is he going to get a move done in the braking zone? The acceleration of that Mercedes, very close on the braking. I thought they were going to make contact there. Aldori, he's certainly piling on the pressure now with 3.5 minutes remaining of this sprint race. He's looking to make a move on his championship rival. As we just see a move, the tow has moved up ahead of KM. So that's the tow up into P12. Let's just jump on board with Jack Davidson here. I think he's quite close to Big Time Dave, or has he got past Big Time Dave? He has. Big Time Dave lost out quite a few places there. He's dropped 3 or 4 places down. As car 321 is off the track, who is that? That's Frank. So Frank is off, and Ben Berriman's going to go sailing on through. So Berriman moves up to P7. Where's Vantage? I think Vantage has gone ahead as well, has he? I think he has. So Vantage has gone up to P8 as well. He has. So Vantage, he's having a cracking race, to be fair to the lads. I think he started 15th or 16th, and he's currently occupying P8. A cracking drive from AMR Vantage so far. As car number 19 is off. Who is that? That is KY. He's got a lot of damage. That BMW is done for the night. That is KY retired from this race. Let's just go back on board with Aldori. Aldori has got ahead of Anderson. Missed that on the live stream. Aldori moves up to 2nd place. So a late change in the top 2 order there. Top 3, shall I say. Anderson losing out to Aldori. And let's just go on board with Mr. Dogshaft down in 10th place, because he's looking a little bit closer to Frank. Frank, who was battling with Ollie Mack and Cletus, made that mistake. Now finds himself in 9th. Now, there is a 3rd car involved with Anderson and Aldori here. I'm just trying to work out who it is. Can't work out who that car is. So I think, yeah, just let them by now. It's a Porsche of 20. Is that Tristan? It is. It was Tristan. So as Jeff has just confirmed, the leader is on its final lap and he has been in complete race of his own so far tonight. Morex leading the championship and leading this race. 1 lap to go to win the sprint race here for round 7 at the Nurburgring for PureSimGear Super Sprint Sunday. But the battle for second is still raging on here between Aldori and Anderson. Let's jump on board with these drivers. I don't think Anderson's going to have the pace on this lap to challenge it. I think he's going to have to settle for third place, but you never know. He's got to keep that pressure on. As Outdoor does go a little bit deep there. Not the most optimum line through the hairpin. It's not enough to change the order here. Both cars took a good line through the Schumacher S's. But here is Morex. He's only a few corners away from taking the win. Let's just quickly jump on board with Anderson to see if he's close enough up the back straight. I don't think he is with a straight line speed off that Porsche compared to the Mercedes. He isn't. So around the final corner, Mario Asensio, Morex, the 99 Audi, comes across and takes the checkered flag for the sprint race win. A fantastic win for him. He's going to do it all again in the next race. Aldori comes across the line in second. Anderson comes home in third. A great battle between those two. Stereotypi is going to come home in fourth. Round in the final corner. The second Audi in the top 4. Second row on the grid for him. Stereotypi, a solid 4th place for him. Cletus takes the AM class victory. The 41 BMW. Ollie Mack takes second in class. Ben Berryman's going to take the third and final podium spot in AM category. But a great win for Cletus in AM category. AMR Vantage, probably my driver of the race. Always knew, I say that, he's lost places. Wow. So Missile Dogshaft comes home in 8th. Frank is 9th. And Vantage, McCutcheon 10th. And Vantage 11. What happened to Vantage at the end? He was running in 8th place, Vantage. I was about to say he was my driver of the race, but he's lost a few places. Anyway, Toe is 12th, KM 13th, Thomas Fagan comes home in 14th, Jason Sargent is going to come home in 15th, Gordon Captain 16th. He's being pushed home by Jack Davidson. Jackie Bennett takes the flag in 18th for Jackie. Good result for him. Big Time Dave from the back of the grid. That's a very good result for Big Time Dave. 19th from 26th. Paul Trotman 20th. Chris Gedman, who started from the pit lane, is going to come home in 21st. Jamie Rees 22nd. And then we have Spanu, who was running in the top 10 at the start of this race, made a mistake or had contact, one or the other, all the way in 23rd. Dan Naisbitt, who we saw got completely wiped out at turn 1 and lap 2 by his fellow T1SR teammate, comes home in 24th. That's not a good race for him. And then we have Tristan and KY in 25th and 26th. KY was the only retiree of that race. So that is your sprint race. Wow, Morex absolutely dominated that, actually taking the gap actually came down a little bit. Yeah, he crossed the line with 4.5. I think at one point it was around about 5 to 6 seconds. So Aldori closed the gap a little bit towards the end there. But wow, looking ahead to the next race, Aldori, he will have to do what he's basically done this race, but do it all again. He's going to have to get past Cletus. He's going to have to get past the 2 BMWs, Cletus and the Toe, quite quickly if he wants to challenge Morex. But Morex seems to have the race pace advantage compared to the other drivers in that. So that's your sprint race. Server will reset in a couple of minutes' time, and then we'll have our 40-minute feature. I'll be back with you in a short while.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 9
So guys, I'm back in the commentary booth. So, drivers are just starting their engines and formation lap now for the 40-minute feature race here at the Nurburgring. And we've got a few questions to be answered in this next race. One of them being, can Moritz repeat what he did in that sprint race there? Or is he going to come under a little bit more pressure in the race from the likes of Anderson, maybe Aldori if he can get past the two BMWs quickly as he did in the sprint race? Can Dan Naisbitt convert his qualifying into a result and not be taken out by his teammate? And can Amar Vantage repeat what he didn't as well, starting 16th and found himself up into 8th at one point, and eventually crossed the line 11th due to a little bit of late contact, I believe, but the chicane lost him a few positions. And Chris Gedman have managed to make it on track as well compared to the start of last race, but Jamie Rees is unfortunately starting from the pit lane, and we've also got the 69 car there as well. Who is that? Oh, that's a tow! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The tow, who was meant to be starting on the second row here, is now going to be starting from the pit lane. No idea what has happened there. And the other question to be answered is Big Time Dave. He started back at the grid obviously last race, and he gained a number of positions, and we've got Jack Davidson stopped on track. Now, he said he wouldn't have run out of fuel on the formation lap, but maybe that's a technical issue with his wheel or something, but Jack Davidson is in a spot of bother here, and he's going to be ported back to the pits, I'd imagine. He's not moving at all. So Jack Davidson is going to be also starting from the pit lane. We're going to have 3 cars in the pit lane at the start of this race. There he is, ported back. So, the big loser from that is the tow. He's gone from 4th all the way down to 24th on the grid. And that gives a huge opportunity to Cletus to really go ahead and take control of the AM category in this feature race. McCutcheon will be looking to challenge him in 5th. And KM as well will be occupying that 3rd spot in AM category. But all our focus goes on to the front of the grid. Let's just get on board and get a helicopter cam for the start of the race. So 40 minutes of racing here, guys. There's no pit stops, it's just straight racing on a Sunday night. So the drivers will be fueled up for the 40 minutes. The tyres should be spot on. Now they've had the sprint race out of the way, so they'll know what pressures they need in those tyres. Anderson, who came under pressure into turn 1 at the start of the last race from Cletus, so we're looking for a better start this time round. But here we go, we're about to go racing for round 7 of the FRL PureSimGear Super Sprint Sunday in the 40-minute feature race. Moritz is about to cross this line, we're about to see the green flag, the marshal goes, there he goes, the arm is out with the green flag, with green, and Anderson's got a lot better start, he's into the slipstream of that Audi straight away, but as you can see the Porsche straight line is just not there compared to the Audi. And you've got Aldori having a look at the outside of Cletus, and we're 4 wide into turn 1 back there with now 3 wide, they've got contact. Moritz is away cleanly. Anderson with 3 wide into turn 3, up in the inside of Dan Naisbitt on the outside with Aldori's up into 3rd place. Naisbitt is 4th, Cletus is 5th, 6th is Missile Dog Shaft. So we went to 4 wide into turn 1 there, and we've got cars all over the place here up in the left-hander. We all have managed to avoid contact so far. A little bit of contact there between Vantage. We've got one Audi very early on the brakes there. I think that was potentially Captain. I think that's Captain very conservative on the brakes, potentially just looking not to understeer into the car on the outside. But all fairly clean so far. Let's just go to the front of the grid with Moritz. He is your race leader on lap 1. He's got another sublime race start from him. Anderson's P2, Aldori's 3rd. Naisbitt is 4th, Cletus is 5th, Missile Dogshaft 6th, McCutcheon 7th, Stereotypy 8th, Anu is 9th, Frank is 10th. Berryman 11th. Oh, you're looking up ahead there. Frank's gone wide, and Spanny. No, sorry, I think that's Spanny. It was Spanny who went wide, and Frank moves up. Just watching all the cars go through the chicane to see if everyone gets through cleanly. They do, as Captain closes the gap quite quickly up to Jason Sargent there. So the rest of the field have got away fairly cleanly. The toes were in 25th, unfortunately. I think one of the drivers have backed out. The stewards will be looking at that. I think that potentially Jack Davison potentially left the lobby there. But anyway, our focus is on this man here, Morex, lap 2, and he has got a second lead already to the man in second place, which is Adam Anderson. Now Dory has dispatched 3rd and 4th already on lap 1. He moves himself up to 3rd, so the battle for the lead is on between these three guys in pro category. Naisbitt has managed to avoid being taken out by Danny McCutcheon this race and finds himself in 4th. He's under pressure from that BMW Cletus. Very smooth corner there from Cletus. Kept it in second gear as well. Some do go down the first in that corner. Not quite full throttle through there. Naisbitt looking a little bit squirrely in that Lamborghini. Oh, there's contact between the two of them. And missed out. Dog shaft goes sailing on through. The Bentley goes through. Naisbitt, he was looking a little bit uncomfortable through the Schumacher S's. Looks like he broke a little bit early. Cletus may have not broke a little bit too early enough, and there was contact between the two. Mr. Dogshaft now going to be having a look at the Lamborghini up into the chicane, but not quite close enough this lap. But Dan Naisbitt is struggling a little bit. That Lamborghini's looking a little bit out of control. Is he going to go at the inside of the Bentley? He has a look. I think he backed out of it at the last moment. He's practically pushing that Lambo around the final corner. Is he going to get close enough into turn 1 on lap 3 here? I don't think he is. That Lamborghini is very quick in the straight line, it must be said. It's all cracking off in P4, 5th and 6th here, the battle for 4, 5 and 6. Vantage and Captain having a very close battle here for the 14th. Let's get on board with Chris Knight, probably the youngest driver on the grid. Captain up ahead is the AM-Class leader as he goes a little bit deep there. This could open the door to AMR Vantage. Can he get the run down the hill into the very tight hairpin? He isn't going to have a move. Good battle here between these two drivers, both driving in the T1SR team. Hence the livery colours of pink and purple and lime green. This is where this Aston Martin could come alive on the straight. The Audi's no slouch either. He's got to get in that slipstream of the 134 Audi. Is he going to go up the inside? He is. Vantage goes up the inside. Oh, he's completely missed his braking point though. He just completely went straight on there. He's going to have to give that place back to Captain, surely. He's surely going to have to give that place back. The flashing headlights from Captain, rightly so. I think Vantage, he does have to concede that place. He'll have to if he wants to avoid a steward's review of that. because he completely missed his braking point up at the chicane. Just to quickly have a look at what's happening with Aldori at the front of the grid, because he's just under a second now to Adam Anderson. And on board here with Jason Sargent all the way down in 16th. Now this is battling away with Captain. So Captain, who we just saw on the lap previous, was battling away with AMR Vantage. He is now under immense pressure from the number 7 of Jason Sargent. I think Captain will still be asking for AMR Vantage to give that place back. And let's quickly join Aldori because he's quite close to Anderson here. As he has a look to the inside, he's not going to make a move down, is he? No, he just has a quick look to try and put Anderson off. And we've got yellow flags out. I think we've got car number 41. Cletus is off. Cletus is off at the final corner. But look at what's happening ahead of him. There's cars all over the place. This is very close into turn 1 here. Ben on board with Ben Berryman in P9, KM in 10th, Spanu in 8th. I think Spanu's a little bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment with these guys. And we've got car 108, yellow flags out for them as well. That's Jamie Rees. He's off track, potentially retiring. He's not getting going again. Yes, he's Jamie Rees, where's he gone? I think he's just quit out of the lobby, so whether that's a disconnection or not, but the stewards will be having a look at that. But here we are looking at Big Time Dave and KY. That's all for 23rd, all the way down the bottom end of the grid. They're side by side going into turn 1, and I think KY is going to get this move done if he can pick his braking point. He's quite conservative on the brake, so Big Time Dave has gone very wide and very deep. But KY has got that move done, so he moves up into 23rd, but Big Time Dave hasn't trying coming back at him, but not quite close enough. Let's just go on board with Missile Dogshaft because he is the first man in this group of cars, currently occupying 4th, but he's got Dan Naisbitt behind him, and Naisbitt, oh, very late on the brakes there, Naisbitt. And that is one car you've got to watch in a straight line. I keep saying it, but that Lambo is quick. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move up in the chicane this lap. And on board with Stereotypic because he's now very close to, is that Tom Fagan? No, I don't know who that is. There's an Audi, all this contact between the two, and they touch, they go side by side, and that is Stereotypy. I think it was Stereotypy, Jason Sargent, Vantage, and was that Captain? I can't quite recall who that was. The Stereotypy was running 4th in this race. He's now down in 12th. He's lost out big time. Aldori still trying to close that gap to Anderson. It's just staying at around about a second at the moment. Cletus is now coming into the pits. That is an awful result for him. Quite a lot of damage in front of that BMW. So from 4th on the grid. Not great. So that means McCutcheon is currently your AM class leader. Danny McCutcheon. He's currently leading this category. Ben Berryman is second with KM third in class. Berryman is still stuck behind Spanu though in P8. Oh, Spanu's gone wide. Spanu goes wide and Ben Berryman moves up. So that's Berryman up into 8th place. And here is on board with Frank now. He is very close to McCutcheon. McCutcheon can't think about losing too much time here to him. He's got to think about Ben Berryman behind. And Frank is quick, I'll just let him go, Dan. and quickly on board with Trotty, because he's got Jackie Van Aken behind him and he's got the tow behind him. So a three-way battle here for P18. So the tow is going to be very close to Jackie, going up this back straight up into the chicane. Jackie goes to the left, the tow pulls to the right. Jackie's going to have the inside, they go side by side. Oh, the tow's going to have to back out of that one. Good driving from the pair of them, good driving. Jackie maintains 18th. Action all throughout the grid here. The first 10-12 minutes of this race. Missile Dogshaft is still 4th. Naisbitt is 5th. McCutcheon 6th. Still under pressure from Frank. Frank very close to McCutcheon here. Now, is he close enough to make a move in the braking of the hairpin? He may have a look up the inside. McCutcheon doesn't go defensive yet. He stays behind him. It's good driving from the pair of them. Frank just being conservative, being patient, waiting for his opportunity. And look at this, KM very close to Spanu. Spanu is just struggling for race pace here, just falling back and back and back. KM will be looking to get past, currently 3rd in class. Got to overtake carefully, don't want to lose your current position in your class. We've got quite a big field spread at the moment. After only 15 minutes of racing, we do have quite a big field spread. But this battle here is still very close between Aldori and Anderson, the battle for 2nd and 3rd on this grid. As we have Cletus leaving the pits in number 61. So that's Big Time Dave, beg your pardon. That's Big Time Dave leaving the pit lane there. So Stereotypy 11th, Jason Sargent 12th, Vantage is now still in 13th, but still ahead of Captain. He's not giving that place back. I think the stewards will be looking at that if he finishes ahead of Captain in this race. He could be looking at a 10-second penalty, and we've got a car off. Who is that? Is that Jackie Van Eck? I can't quite work out who that is. I think it could be KM. It is, it's KM. So KM, who was running 3rd in class and battling away with Spanu, he's lost a shed load of places. Let's just see where he goes down to. He was 10th. He's got to wait until he crosses the timing line just to find out where he drops down to. And there's a timing line coming up. So here he goes. He's 16th, so he's lost 6 places. Is where's Trotty? Yeah, he's lost 6 places, KM, down in 16th now from 10th. Look at this Aldori, look. Now only 3 tenths away from Anderson. Anderson under immense pressure from that CrowdStrike AMG Mercedes. And while this is happening, Moritz is just building that lead. We've not even given him any camera time yet because he's been in a race of his own. 6.5 second lead. Great drive from him tonight. Let's jump on board with the tow because Jackie is close, but the tow is even closer. In fact, that is the tow moving up past Trotty. On board with Stereotypy, closest battle on track at this lap. Battle for 9th place with Spanu up ahead. view from behind here, on board with Spanu. Great sound of the Aston Martin there. Real grunt to the engine. We've missed the change in position up top of the grid. So Aldori has moved ahead of Anderson, as we saw in the sprint race. So we've had deja vu here. Anderson will now be trying to get back at him, but I think Anderson did have, so I think Aldori did have a slight advantage in race pace compared to the Porsche driver. So this is a rematch we want to see. Dan Naisbitt is coming up to the back of McCutcheon. I think Naisbitt will be looking for a little bit of revenge, considering it was his teammate who took him out in race 1 at turn 1 and lap 2. Stereotypy still battling away with Spanu. Jason Sarge in the background there, just watching this battle up ahead. Captain starting to come back at Vantage as well. Remember, he did take that position really off track. I do think Vantage needs to remember that. Ever since that moment, he's been ahead of him, Captain. Oh, who's that off? Column 61. That is Big Time Dave. It's off. Where is he going to rejoin? Just got to be careful here, Big Time Dave. Right, you're clear now. Tristan coming down, but he's not going to be close enough.
We're at the halfway mark, keep pushing.
So, halfway mark of this race, 20 minutes remaining of this feature race. We've got car number 82 coming into the pits. That is Olimac. So not whether that's to fix damage or not, I don't know, or retiring. So Jack Davison, who we did see momentarily leave the server, he's now back in and back on track. We have lost one driver. Closest battle on track at the moment is between these two, the battle for 9th and 10th, Spanu and Stereotypy. Stereotypy very close now. Oh, don't make contact, boys. Just not got that straight line speed to really make a difference up that back straight, but in the corners that Audi is very, very good. Could he be close enough to make a move into turn 1? Spanu driving a good defensive race here, just keeping his cool despite the pressure of the 333 Audi. As up the inside, Stereotypy takes a lot. Are they going to make contact? I don't think they do. Great driving from the pair of them. And Stereotypy with a late move up the inside. Fantastic overtake there. I don't think there was contact. As the Audi gets a little bit out of shape, that could reopen the door to Spanu. Great overtake there. I don't think there was contact. Late move up the inside, great racing if it was a clean move. Great overtake there from the 333 Audi driver off Stereotypy. He moves up to 9th position, and Jason Sargent will now be having a look at Spanu himself. And Captain still trying to find his way past AMR Vantage. Just back on board with the top 2, because Anderson, who was overtaken by Aldori's not exactly took off, because Anderson's still right on his rear. He's very close in the 3rd sector here. But this is where the Porsche is weak, and the straight line is where Aldori will be feeling quite confident. He can defend going into the heavy braking zones at the end of these straights. He'll just be able to have that power in that Mercedes just to pull away by a tenth or two compared to the Porsche. But this is where Anderson will be very quick in these corners. This is the battle for 2nd place. Championship rivals currently occupying 2nd and 3rd in the championship. And occupying 2nd and 3rd on track as well. And they've got a 13-second gap there to Moritz. Moritz really has just been beautifully controlling this race in an absolute league of his own tonight, Moritz. He's showing exactly why he's leading this championship. Let's jump on board with Jason Sarge, because he is trying to do what Stereotypy did a lap before, and that is get past Spanu. Vantage is shortly behind him though, and then Captain's even closer, so we've got a great little battle here between P10, 11th, 12th and 13th. Vantage just starting to creep up to the back of Jason Sargent as well. I've missed the change for position yet again with the top 2. I keep missing this battle live. Every time I go to them, they don't make a move. Every time I go off them, they seem to change position. Anderson has got ahead of Aldori, so another swap between these two. Apologies for missing that for the 2nd time. They always seem to do it when I'm not looking at them. But a change of position here. Aldori losing out to Adam Anderson. He's got 14 minutes to come back at him. Let's go on board with the Mercedes driver. Almost a little bit wide there from Aldori. Just teasing those tyres with the gravel on the left hand side. Great traction through the Schumacher S's. This is where he's going to try and get as close as he can to that Porsche to have an opportunity on the straight. all about this exit. Now, can he power up the hill? He does look close. Is he going to go up the inside? It's risky, he backs out of it sensibly. And that Porsche looks a little bit out of position a little bit, but he manages to keep it on track, Anderson. Great driving from the pair of them. And again, this is where he could move into turn one. Is Anderson going to go to the inside and go defensive? He's very close here, Aldori. This is where this could be his moment, this could be his opportunity, this could be his chance. Goes to the inside, down the inside, onto the brake, side by side into turn one. Is Anderson going to go for the switchback? He is. Oh, they touch a little bit, they trade a little bit of paintwork on their right and left hand doors. But Aldori moves back up into second place, and I finally catch one of their overtakes on stream. Great racing from the pair of them. This is that third position change in this race between the pair of them. There's still 12 minutes remaining. This could be a bit of a blockbuster finish between these two. Aldori just covering off that inside move there. Just a sneaky look to the inside there from Anderson. Good exit from Aldori, really stretched the legs of that Mercedes in on the exit of that corner. Let's just have a quick look at McCutcheon. He's currently leading the AM class category. Let's not forget the AM class. So McCutcheon is leading that at the moment, and he's closed up to the back of the McLaren of Frank. Ben Berriman still occupies second in class, and captain, the championship leader. Third place in class was occupied by KM, but captain's got ahead of him, so captain moves up in to that third place. And let's join on board with Trotty, because he's under pressure from Thomas Fagan here, and Jackie Van Eck's also in this battle. So Fagan very close to Paul Trotman. This is the battle for 16th and 17th between the two pro drivers. Aston Martin beat McLaren, but Jackie Van Eck in the AM category is keeping a very close eye on what happens between these two. Actions throughout the grid here, from second and third to 16th and 17th. And this is what league racing on FRL is all about. As Fagan has a sneaky look up the inside, but he ain't going to make a move there. I think Paul Trotman's gone quite wide though on the entry to the final corner, and Fagan could be very close, but he's also got to watch in his rearview mirror for that Audi of Jackie Van Eck. Can Fagan make a move up the inside into turn one? He is not quite close enough this lap, as Jackie Van Eck is very late on the brakes as well, but manages to get the car slowed down just in time to avoid contact with the McLaren. Bit of a wider line there from Tom Fagan. Gets a real good traction compared to Paul Trotman. Trotman under a lot of pressure now, as Jackie Van Eck in the background just getting a little bit out of control there with the Audi. Great driving from the pair of them here with Thomas Fagan. Tom Fagan looking really racy here, looking really quick. He's looking like he's being held up a little bit here by Paul Trotman. But here comes Jackie on the outside. Jackie Van Eck on the outside, there's cones flying everywhere. Great battle here between the three cars, 16th, 17th and 18th. This is where Fagan could have an opportunity. Not quite close enough. And on board with Anderson, 8 minutes remaining. These guys have already switched position 3 times. Could they make it 4? Anderson is certainly not giving up the fight. Let's have a quick look at what's happening between Spanu and Sarge. So these two have been battling for a number of laps now. Spanu still holding on to that top 10 position. This is pro category battle. Oh, up the inside! Jason Sargent, do they avoid contact? They do. Let's get on board with the helicam, get a better shot on the outside now. So Spanu's got the inside line. He's going to go for a switchback. Oh, Sarge had to just kind of correct his driving a little bit there, correct his line. Sarge is now going to have the inside line to turn the left-hander. They go side by side. They avoid contact. Great driving from the pair of them. Great driving. Spanu. Oh, Spanu's lost it. The rear axle's locked up. I think he just lost it. He lost the traction. There was no contact. Spanu just... The rear axle locked up as he was downshifted, potentially got onto the curb. That's going to open the door for Captain. So Gordon Captain down the inside, up into P11. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he can. So Spanu, in the space of 2 corners, has lost 2 positions. But great driving there between him and Jason Sargent. Real good battle. Let's have a quick look with Thomas Fagan. Has he managed to get past Paul Trotman? He hasn't. So Fagan's still battling away. Jackie Van Eck has just backed off a little bit as well compared to Fagan. Anderson and Aldori, as they were a lap or 2 ago. Anderson in fact just lost a little bit of time compared to Aldori now. 1.6 is the difference. That's 17-second lead for Morex. He is 6 minutes away from a back-to-back win here at the Nurburgring. Let's have a quick look at the Toe and KM going up into the chicane, and they're looking very close on the radar. Oh, it's KM almost loses the control of the Audi there. The Toe, who was starting 4th but had an issue and did not get onto the grid in time. He started from the pit lane. Now let's have a look at Frank, because Danny McCutcheon has got ahead of Frank S in the battle for 5th place. So McCutcheon moves up to 5th and Frank is not far behind. We'll be looking to retake that position. And we're on board with Gordon Captain once again, because he's under quite a lot of pressure from Spanu now. And Fagan and Trotman still back then. So KM has got ahead of the Toe. Position change there. KM moves up to 14th and the Toe drops to 15th. Mr. Dogshaft sitting in 4th, having a very lonely race. He is quite a way behind Anderson in 3rd, but quite 11.5 seconds ahead of McCutcheon. So lonely race for Mr. Dogshaft in 4th, McCutcheon 5th, AM-class leader, Frank 5th, Naisbitt 7th. Again, having a little bit of a middle and low man's race. A few seconds behind Frank, a few seconds ahead of Ben Berriman. Berriman 2nd in class. He's got Stereotypy in 9th. Jason Sarge 10th. Captain 11th. Spanu 12th. Vantage 13th. Vantage has fallen back a couple of places now. He's now behind Captain. Then we've got KM battling away with the Toe. Then a big gap to Paul Trotman and Fagan. Fagan is very close to Paul Trotman. Goes up the inside now. Has a look. Can he get the move done? He can't. He just had a look and Fagan lost the control a little bit off that McLaren. Managed to keep it on the track. Jackie Van Eck in 18th will be looking to pounce on any mistakes there. Tristan in 19th. Cletus 20th. Started 3rd on the grid all the way down in 20th. He's a long way behind, unfortunate for him. Gedman 21st. KY 22nd. Jack Davison 23rd, Ollie Mack and Big Time Day are the 2 retirees from this race. Where is the closest battle on track? It's currently looking like AMR Vantage and Spanu. Three minutes remaining in this race. Don't forget guys, if you are watching live, please do drop a like on the video. And if you're not already subscribed, whack that subscribe button. There is plenty of action on FRL throughout PlayStation 5 and PC coming your way. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming races, events after this race. Fagan still trying to find a way past Paul Trotman here. These two guys go quite a way back, battling away on PlayStation 4, and here they are on PS5. And side by side is the toe and KM. I think there's a little bit of contact there. I think maybe there's a little bit of a slight door touch, door bang. The toe ahead of KM. And up ahead, Spanu and Captain still battling away. Captain holding on for his third in class. Well, I say holding on, this is a AM driver versus pro driver. But Captain looking good for a podium position in category here. With 1.5 minutes remaining, guys. And the Morex is your race leader. And he's, as I say that, he starts his final lap with a lead of about 20 seconds to Aldori. Been an absolute race of his own tonight, Morex. He's probably wondering if anyone else is driving. He's been that far ahead of anyone else. Pole position, sprint race winner, and 1 lap away from feature race win. This will be the triple win, really, with qualifying, extra point for pole position, and back-to-back wins for the Audi driver, leading the championship. And you can see why on the back of this performance tonight here at the Nurburgring in round 7 of PureSimGear Super Sprint Sunday. Let's have a quick look back at Paul Trotman, because he's still under pressure from Thomas Fagan. This battle's been raging on for the last 15 minutes or so, probably even longer than that. We really have had some great battles tonight on track, and I must say that the quality of the standard of driving has been a lot better than what we've seen in recent weeks. We've seen a couple of contacts here or there, but the majority of driving has been very good from drivers. It's good to see, great to see in fact. But let's give the race winner, and the race leader, some airtime, because he deserves it. Absolute quality drive from Morex tonight. Led from start to finish. Not really been under any pressure whatsoever. Even on the start, he managed to get away both times nice and cleanly from second man Anderson on the grid. Never really been troubled. It's never looked like it. It's been in a class of his own. Morex, Mario Asensio, is your double race winner here at the Nurburgring. He crosses the line. An absolute emphatic victory for the 99 Audi driver. Great win. Second place is going to be Ahmed Aldori. He's had a ding-dong battle with Adam Anderson all night long. But he will come out on top and will take second place here in class. Anderson home in third. Mr. Dogshaft with a very lonely but solid and respectable fourth position for the Bentley driver. He comes home in fourth. And Danny McCutcheon switching to the AM category. He is 1 corner away from winning AM class victory here. This will be a very well deserved win and a very well earned points in his fight for the championship. Danny McCutcheon takes AM class win. Frank comes home in 6th. Daniel Naisbitt 7th. Ben Berryman is going to be 2nd on the podium for AM category. Sarah Tippy 9th. Jason Sargent 10th. And Gordon Captain, championship leader, will come home in 3rd in AM category. Great drive from him. Spanu 12th. Vantage is going to come home in 13th. good couple of drives from him tonight, it must be said. Well done, AMR Vantage. Toe 14th, KM 15th. Good battle between those two. Thomas Fagan has got ahead of Paul Trotman. So Tom Fagan, who we've seen stuck behind Trotman for the last, well, several laps, he comes out victorious. Thomas Fagan will come home in 16th. Great drive from him. Paul Trotman 17th. Jackie Van Eyck, a respectable 18th. Just didn't quite have the pace to challenge those two in front of him. Tristan is going to come home in 19th. Cletus, a disappointing result for him, considering he was 4th in qualifying, will come home in 20th. Chris Gedman 21st. KYKY 22nd. Jack Davidson 23rd. Ollie Mack 24th. And Big Time Dave 25th. And last but not least is Jamie Rees. So Ollie Mack, Big Time Dave and Jamie Rees were your 3 retirees from that race. Wow, I've got to get my breath back after that. An absolute amazing drive from Morex. So that has been your racing here tonight. Let's just give you a quick rundown of what is to come on PlayStation 5 ACC with Formula Racing League. So Tuesday night we have round 7 of the Taco Tuesday Championship here at the Nurburgring. Please do join. The 2 live streams we'll have for you on Tuesday night. We'll have the Pro category live streamed by our very own Tom Cairns, and our very own Darren will be commentating on the Pro-Am category. So please do keep your eyes peeled if you are not driving and would like to view those races on Tuesday night. Thursday we see the return of the very nice late night championship on FRL. If you're not sure what that is, it's very much more of a kind of chill drive and turn up and just have a good race type vibe. It's not as competitive as the other race series such as the Sprint Sunday and the Taco Tuesday. It's a very good vibe, very good races. They're always in the daytime. The weather is always fairly dry. It's nice and relaxed atmosphere. Please do check in on Discord if you want to get involved with that. I do recommend it. And then on next week on PC, so for those of you who race on PC, our late night rookies start next Thursday on the 1st of June. Thursday night, late night rookies start, and then Friday night we have the PureSimGear GT3 start on Friday the 2nd of June on PC. So that's late night rookies on the 1st of June, and the 2nd of June is the PureSimGear GT3 class. We've got numerous categories, 4 categories in fact. We've got Pro, Silver, Pro-Am and Am battling across 2 servers. The server 1 will also be live streamed on Twitch for PC. So that is what's to come next week on FRL, and just a bit of a plug as well for the series that I'm running alongside my fellow admins, Mark Conway, Axel Racing and Will Friedman. We've got a massive one-off endurance race coming up at the end of next month in June for the 8 hours of Indianapolis. We're calling it Indy H for short. It's anything up to 2 to 4 drivers per team. We've already got around about 17 teams signed up. It'll be great if we can get over 20 cars on the grid for that. Ideally, I would like full grid, but if we can get 25 cars on grid, that would be fantastic. We're going to be having split categories throughout the grid. So we're going to have a Pro, Pro-Am and Am. So even if you're down in 20th position on track, you could still be battling for your Am class win. Your cars will be placed into category based on your driver rating of all 4 drivers. So if you had a team of 4, all your driver ratings are combined into an average car DR, and that will decide what category you get put in. So please do get involved with that. The sign-ups are open on the SimGrid. It's going to be a great night. It's on the Saturday, 8 hours of Indy. The qualifying is the night before, and we've got an F1 style qualifying format over an hour on the Friday night. So the top 20 go through to Q2, and the top 10 go through to Q3, and there's like a top pole position shootout type thing. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that, guys. Sign-ups are open. So yeah, that's the plug. One last thing for me is just the Patreon. Thank you for all the Patreon subscribers on FRL. Your support really does go a long way to supporting Formula Racing League in terms of what we do, the service we throw on, everything like that. Please do check out as well the Patreon channel if you're not yet a subscriber. For a little as £3 a month, you can become a patron. There's a number of benefits with your membership. One of them being is your real name is displayed in the server on PlayStation 5. So that is one of the benefits as being a Patreon. And then finally as well, just a congratulations, I mentioned it earlier in the race, but just another congratulations to SBR for winning the Drivers' Club Championship on Friday night. It was quite a special moment. The championship was dedicated to Essa. They were racing in his car, in the Bentley. And SBR for Essa, and they managed to win the race in Spa on the last lap, but overall topped the championship. So huge congratulations to Ben Milden and Sean. Absolutely fantastic race and championship from them. So thank you for joining me on the live stream. Apologies I missed last week. I couldn't attend last week's commentary, but I will be back on the grid for next week's race for round 8. Hope to have you join me then. So yeah, thank you for watching live, and yeah, I hope you all have a cracking week. Enjoy the bank holiday. It's a bank holiday tomorrow in the UK, so don't get too drunk tonight. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do want to get drunk. I mean, that's what bank holidays are there for. Thereafter, aren't they? But yeah, have a good bank holiday. Have a good week at work and school, college, university, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you on the grid throughout tacos, throughout late night, and see you next Sunday. Take care, all. Bye bye.